we use quick clot, we use elastic and packing. So if we, just call some random person out to look at their kit on operation day and say, hey, let me see what's in your bag, and all you got is elastic and packing, you're wrong. So the band-aids, right? You have basic band-aid. What do you think a basic band-aid's used for?
Yes.
Just a general scrape. A small little cut.
Minor.
Fucking O'Hare race.
Beautiful.
So we use an analogy here, right? So a basic wound equals a basic band-aid, right? Fucking
For basic bitches.
if you have a skin flap, you want to wrap it. So that's an elastic bandage. An elastic bandage is like a little pressure dressing, an Israeli bandage for, those military types here, right? And then you have packing bandage. And then you have quick clot. So, who's hurt?
Sound kick butt too.
I have no idea.
Yeah, where's number one?
Feel like
Hold
he's
on, I'll take
AFK
care
right
of it.
now.
So
Somebody just got fisted.
So your basic wound are things like scrapes, abrasions, cuts, etc., right?
Even bruises.
And you can't fix bruises with band-aids.
Yeah, but
Only fix
it
those
applies as a
kisses.
basic.
So your elastic bandage wounds that can work with elastic bandages are avulsions. So if you have an avulsion, use an elastic bandage. So the medical terminology, an avulsion is where a structure is forcibly removed or torn away from your body, right? So the skin flap analogy, right? If you take some mortar shrapnel and your calf is just flopping down by your fucking shin, or flopping down by your fucking ankle, you kind of want to hold that shit together. You'd use an elastic band-aid to do that. The next thing is packing bandage. So what do you think a packing bandage is used for?
Pick me.
I don't know, packing a hole.
Fill in a hole, exactly, right? So what are wound types in ArmA that you've seen that you can shove shit into?
Any type
High
of velocity
velocity
wound.
wound.
My ass.
Velocity and
Velocity and puncture, right?
They're usually
Yep.
dead,
So
though.
fucking anything that pierces you, giggity, fucking, you want to fucking fill the hole. Think of a packing bandage as a tampon.
It's actually where the tampons originally came from, funnily enough.
Yep.
Then the next bandage type is quick clot. What do you think quick clot can do?
Yes.
Blood stops bleeding.
Oh, I don't know.
Quick clot fixes fucking everything, right? So fucking, if you have no more basic bandages, but you got a cut, fucking pour some quick clot on that shit. It'll work.
So it's the
If you gotta-
Take
if
a
you
bunch
gotta-
of applications.
If you got a avulsion and you don't got no more elastic band-aids, throw some quick clot on that bitch.
It won't work as well, but it'll work.
So, other wound shit that we use tourniquets and we use splints, right? Obviously, a splint is when you have a broken limb. With your medical menu,
Everybody should
with your medical
open.
menu, it'll show you when you have a broken limb. The bone structure in the limb, so your leg or your arm,
User joined your channel.
it'll show you a broken limb. It'll be red, and then when it's splinted, it'll show blue. Tourniquets stop massive hemorrhage. So, say for instance, dude next to you catches a mortar blast and both of his fucking legs. Zloy, if you do not get out of a fucking Russian uniform, you will be removed from the server. Fucking both of y'all.
How about we play the quit fucking around game so we can get this over with?
Yeah, exactly.
High five.
Yeah.
So, the fucking, like I said, say the dude next to you takes a fucking, Alexa, can you fucking stop shut the fuck up. So say the dude next to you catches a fucking mortar blast and his legs are fucking decimated, and you do not have the time nor means to sit there and bandage his wounds up right there on the spot. Slap a tourniquet on it, it'll stop the bleeding. The only thing, obviously, you can't tourniquet is the fucking head and the chest. So, if...
You can try.
I mean, you could technically wrap it around your neck, but...
No, it's a noose.
Ace won't allow it.
That'll be fun.
So, the, so the military teaches, like, March, which is, like, massive hemorrhage, airway, which we don't use. Fucking... respiration, which
User in your channel
kind of use. Fucking circulatory, and then fucking like head trauma, which is not used. So circulatory, not really respiration because we don't use fucking cat. Don't really worry about that. But massive hemorrhage and fucking circulation is what we focus on in the group, right? So fucking we use the TC3 method for medical. So, the first things first, I'm just going to pick some random ass dude out of the fucking group. So, fucking say Murphy gets schwacked and he's just laying there leaking. I'm going to look at Murphy and I'm going to be like, yo, can you do self-aid? And Murphy's like bleeding out and fucking unconscious. And if he doesn't respond, you just solved problem number one with providing aid to a casualty. Checking responsiveness. So, if you're far away from him and you're like, yo, dude, can you fucking fix yourself? And he don't say shit, you know he's not fucking standing up and he's not conscious. So, then you go into the next shit, right? Fucking, are you under fire? Is there good covering concealment? You know, shit along these lines. The main thing we don't want you guys to do is, I'm just going to use this as an example. We're crossing from these buildings behind me to the buildings behind you, and somewhere in the middle, people go down, right? Are you going to stop to provide aid to them, or are you going to continue moving towards that threat?
Continue moving.
Continue.
Yeah, there you go.
Continue moving.
You go back.
You'll end up getting. You'll just end up getting swacked yourself trying to provide aid because you're a sitting duck.
Here's a pro tip: you fucking pop smoke and keep moving.
Smoke's out.
Yeah.
So, on that same, god damn it, on that same, fucking premise, if you yourself get shot, but it doesn't kill you, or make you unconscious instantly, continue with the fight. So, a good, like, talking point on that is, say you're doing room clearing, and fucking you go into the first room and you get shot, but you're still up, continue clearing that house. And then once the house is clear, then render aid to yourself. Does it make sense?
Joined your channel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Who's
Cracking
new?
song.
Oh, yes, sir.
Who's new? Fucking.
Yep.
Bob.
Yeah.
You have an avulsion. What kind of wound do you use? Or what kind of... Yeah.
User left your channel.
You have an avulsion. What kind of bandage do you use?
User joined your channel.
Quick plot.
You get 50% on the test. Gregos, what bandage do you use? Same wound type.
You need to remember the bandages. You can open your inventory and look at them.
Yes.
Minor scrape.
What?
Oh,
What?
minor scrape. No.
Minor scrape.
I got this one.
Shut the fuck up.
Ooh.
If parts of your body's falling off or something like that, like you were saying, your leg.
Yeah. So you got a skin flap.
Yeah.
What kind of bandage do you use?
Is it the elastic one?
Good shit.
Right.
High five.
And, C. Fox. You have a puncture wound. What kind of bandage do you use? Wrong. 50%.
What do you use for crushed tissue?
Elastic.
Wrong.
Isn't that basic?
User
Yes.
left your channel.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
User joined your channel.
Weird.
You lied to me, Space.
I don't know. I just
I've
had
always
it
used
when-
fucking
oh, yeah,
elastic
it's
for that.
bruised.
So here, I'll go over the wound types and which bandage works good for that wound type. So crushed tissue, scrape, cut, all bandage. Doesn't matter the size. It's all basic bandage.
Huh. What about
So tear, basic bandage.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
For you can use elastics on tears too, but it doesn't work as
User
good.
joined your channel.
Yeah.
So for
User left your
elastic
channel.
bandage, you have avulsions. That's pretty much fucking all it's good for. Elastic bandages can also work with puncture and velocity wounds, but it doesn't work as good. So for puncture and velocity wounds, you want to use packing because both of those are piercing wounds that penetrate you. Giggity. So you want to fill that hole with something. And then fucking quick clot. Quick clot fixes everything, but it takes a lot of quick clot to fix it. So
And the other thing is, because we're using an advanced medical system, the bandages only last so long depending on the injury.
Fuck.
So quick clot is the first thing to fail as well. But if you've got a really bad puncture wound,
So that's the next thing that I was about to say. So fuck
Really?
Christ.
Fucking out.
That was not me.
Stuff.
Oh my god, dude, this new sound.
Perfect time to
Yo,
test
everybody stop
medical.
talking real
Everyone
quick.
check
Just
yourself.
shut the fuck up so we can fucking continue this. Like, don't move so I can seal everybody because fucking.
Medical training. I got you.
Don't fucking move. Don't fucking move. Stop fucking moving. Jesus fuck.
Well, now's a good time. You could work on me.
How do
Yeah, that's
pull your,
actually-
like, medical.
That's too
Yeah,
late.
someone go fix him up. He's You hold your
No,
Windows
no,
key
no,
H.
don't fucking move. Let me fucking seal everybody because people don't know how to not touch their keyboards.
I don't know.
I started from the south end.
It's a good opportunity for.
Whoever that was, grenade button. Double tap G. It's very useful.
Alright, fucking anywho, what I was saying is typically when you're in a firefight, you're gonna have more than one wound type on you with one gunshot wound.
Yep.
You're gonna have a variation of puncture velocity, or puncture avulsion, or puncture, or fucking not puncture, velocity avulsion, fucking avulsion, so on and so forth, right? So when you have a wound, look at your medical menu, and it'll tell you verbatim what kind of wounds you have. So, you know, with the medical training, simplicity's sake, if you got a whole packet, you got to skin flap wrap it. If you got a whole packet, skin flap wrap it. Basic wound, basic band-aid, quick clot fixes everything. So if you look in your inventory and you're like, well shit, fucking I'm out of elastic and I'm out of packing, quick clot. Because chances are medevac's already in or out. So on the medevac topic, we medevac for broken limbs, gunshot wounds, heart attack. Yeah, that's the main thing, right? So fucking, if you fucking survived an explosion, medevac. If you got shot, medevac. If you got fucking, what in the ass? What in the ass tits?
Broken limbs, you need to be medevaced.
Yeah. There we go. Problem solved. So is there any questions on medical?
How do you pull it up?
Good question. So if you have it bound, H will pull up your medical menu.
User left your channel.
If it doesn't pull up, let me know so we can go over how to set that up real quick.
You in here?
Don't be in front of someone if you're
User joined your channel.
Even if it
Oh, wait,
it'll
yeah,
still pull up their
on the
medical
button,
menu.
so.
Yeah, on yourself. If you're not looking at anybody, it's you. And that's something else you want to pay attention to is your name is at the top left corner. If you're working on yourself or somebody else, always check that name and make sure you're working on the person you think you are.
Yeah, or else you might stick someone with, 3 tubes of morphine when you're trying to give yourself some.
Correct.
Why are you giving yourself 3 morphines?
In a vehicle?
Because
next to
you'd
the
be,
people with
you
the
stick the
ace
first
menu.
tube in, and then it wouldn't have taken effect. It's like, shit, I guess I gotta do another one. And it doesn't take effect. Like, shit, another one. And then the dude in front of you passes out.
Well, that's why you attention to detail. You fucking, if it don't work the first time, you should probably see what the fuck you're doing.
Yep.
What were you saying, Michael?
There. In a vehicle, pressing H while looking at someone won't work. Instead, you need to use the ACE interact menu. So that is control Windows in this case. Actually,
Just
No,
Windows.
just Windows. Yeah,
Just
just
Windows.
So does everybody have a fucking warm fuzzy on medical?
Are we
North,
ready
south,
about the
east,
drugs?
west?
I've got one other thing that needs to be said, and that is the use of tourniquets. If there are serious injuries on limbs, be sure to tie those off before you start working on things. Stop the flow of blood before going further. And the other is, if you look at your medical menu, the second tab to the left is examine patient. If somebody's not responding, you really need to have a look and make sure they've got a heartbeat.
Other thing with tourniquets. Tourniquets, we'll just say fucking wounds from head to toe, right? Both arms and both legs and head and chest. Tourniquet all limbs and then focus the head and chest. Because once you tourniquet the limbs, they're no longer bleeding. So as soon as you bandage the head and chest, they'll be stable enough to get fucking medevac. Alright, so warm fuzzy, yes, no, east, north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
Also, don't put morphine or epinephrine into a tourniqueted arm.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Oh yeah, also, yep.
And take tourniquets off. They do cause pain. And we'll knock
Also,
you
if you're
out.
checking for a pulse or blood pressure, take the tourniquet off.
Correct.
You can check for a pulse on the head.
Yep, or check it on the head.
Hey Raven.
Yeah.
There's something nice I just saw. We have 37 people in here right now.
Oh yeah, that's fucking nice.
People shut up for
Nice. Alright, so fucking on to the next thing.